Hey everyone, welcome to the Inspired Yoga Call. I'm so excited that somebody invited you to view this tonight. If you're watching this as a recording, it's June 22nd, 2017. And the reason you're watching this is because someone cared about you so much to invite you to see what we had to say. The reason we do this is because there's a company, Juice Plus, that had a big impact on our lives, and we want to share that with everybody out there that maybe this could have an impact on their lives too. And this call is especially for yoga teachers because myself, I'm a certified yoga instructor, and Sandy is as well. And we have a deep desire to practice yoga and to change people's lives with yoga, but we wanted to do more than just that. And this company allowed us not to invest more in our own yoga, but be able to gift more to others with it. So my name is Kim Faber. I'm a registered nurse, a certified yoga instructor, and a certified health coach. I always look for the ways that I could be of service in this world and how I can not only better my own life, but then the life lessons that I've had, what I can do to bring that to other people, improve their lives too. And that's kind of how yoga came across my path. I was able to travel around the world. I did 35 countries so far. And then I wanted to do something where I just did yoga. And I looked at the prices of a retreat for a week, and I looked at the prices of school for a whole month, and then I just did it on a whim. They said, you should have a year of yoga practice before you did it, and I said, is 5 classes enough? And they let me do it. I'm just that person that kind of goes all in if it feels right, and that's how I ended up with this company too. So I did that yoga teacher training 2 years ago now, and I just get to teach when I want, and I'm so happy that I get to do yoga that way, because when you're able to just teach classes from your heart, you're able to give more instead of feeling like you have to teach for money. Can take the joy out of teaching your classes. So the way this company stumbled across my path was I was nursing up in the Yukon, and a friend asked me to look at the research on the product. I have a Bachelor of Science degree in nursing, and so I spent years reading through medical research. The Juice Plus products actually have medical research behind them, which means they're placebo-based studies, which means the results that happened in those studies, they're duplicatable, meaning that if those results happened as a product of that study, they would happen for you too. So when I read those studies, I couldn't help but want those benefits for myself. Within a month of trying this product, I had more energy than I'd really ever had in my life. And I was working 12-hour shifts, mostly nights, 7 times a week, and bouncing back and forth overtime for 2 months straight. It was the first time I'd ever worked overtime and not gotten sick, so I knew it had improved my immune system. What I wasn't expecting is the impact it would have on my exercise health. A lot of people didn't know this about me, but in my early 20s, I had really struggled with heart health, and if I exercised, I would often get chest pain. And this was the first time in my life I was able to run and not have wheezing from asthma or chest pain, and it just made such a difference to me. And then it made such a difference that I used to faint almost every single day. And yoga wasn't really a good idea because you go from postures and you stand up. And I remember my first time surfing, I stood up on my board and fainted. So a hot yoga class was just out of the question. So in my 3rd month on these Juice Plus products is when I went to my yoga teacher training in Nicaragua. And I was able to not only do 8 hours of yoga a day, but I was going for morning runs as well. And I just couldn't think that this was possible unless I invested in my nutrition first. And I'd always guilted myself about my exercise and been like, oh, I'm just out of shape. But what I had to realize was it wasn't that I was out of shape, I was just riddled with inflammation. And I know based on the research and my own experience that these products have decreased so much inflammation in my body. And just being able to practice yoga was such a blessing. And I just think what an amazing thing. If a yoga teacher had shared this with me, it would have improved my yoga classes tremendously. But luckily it came into my life another way. And that's why we want to share this business with you, is because it's an incredible business. When you can do it at any point in your life, and it only costs $50 to sign up. It was a no-brainer to me that if I experienced these benefits, that I wanted to be on this product the rest of my life. And originally I started on this product just for the discount, because if I paid that $50 just once a year, I was going to make more than $50 back just on my own personal order. But you know, when you have something really good, you can't just keep it to yourself. So I naturally shared it with my friends and family, and it's created a side income for me, which even as a registered nurse has been absolutely incredible. But I can't imagine what this would do for yoga instructors that I know are just struggling to get by if they could have an extra side income. So it's not only what you could do for your yogis in your class by sharing this product with them, but it's also what you could do with your life. What if you didn't have to teach all those classes in a day and you had more free time, which is really cool. My friend Sandy's going to share with us in a bit about how she went from a yoga studio owner and a Yoga for Schools business and transformed her life. And she still gets to teach, even though she's this big badass in this business. She still has all this time to do the coolest yoga things. She just did her Kundalini teacher training. She did a yin training. So it didn't take away from her ability to teach yoga. It just made it so she could more fully give as a yoga teacher, which is really cool. So just a quick rundown on the business. Like I said, it's $50 to sign up. That's the only fee you pay. And there's no monthly minimums. The way that it's structured is that when you go up a level and get a higher commission level, you'll never go back down. So it's always like sometimes life catches up with you and maybe your business is a bit slow. You're not going to lose your promotion level. So if you get an order, you're still going to make that same awesome commission that you might have been at before life knocked you upside down, which I love. The company has so much heart. They do so much for charity. They have amazing customer service. I love the way that they work and how if I call head office, lots of times I know them because they're cross-trained. They come to our events. And then we're set up for success when somebody's like, I don't know how to share this product. We have so many resources set out for us so that all you have to do is invite people to an event just like someone invited you to this call. And then if the information resonates with them, then you have somebody that either into as a customer or they want to sign up on your business. And you know, you're never locking people into the product. You're never locking them into the business. You're just sharing this opportunity for them. And the other thing that's awesome is that what are these products? They're super simple, and the company's whole mission is inspiring healthy living around the world. Because yes, this company is worldwide, so it's perfect for travelers like me and Sandy. The products are really simple. They're just fruits and vegetables. The main product is fruits and vegetables in a capsule or a chewable. The reason why this is so powerful is that the fruits and vegetables were grown in very healthy ways. They're not sprayed with herbicides or pesticides or heavy chemicals. And then they're grown till they're fully ripe, which we're learning is so important to have the most nutrition. You want your fruits and vegetables fully ripe before they're picked. And then they grind them up with the pits and peels and seeds so that you have all this extra nutrition that you might not normally eat. I don't eat the peels of my oranges or my grapefruits or my lemons, but I get that nutrition in these capsules, which is super cool. And then the synergy of all these fruits and vegetables working together. So in the capsules and the chewables, you have 30 different fruits and vegetables that you get to eat every single day. And you knew that if you ate that every single day in your own diet, you would feel amazing. But the thing is we struggle to do that. And so we're just bridging the gap. We're not replacing our fruits and vegetables. We're just meeting that gap there with the ripeness, the peels, and then the amount of variety in our fruits and vegetables. So that's what's really cool is it's not a replacement. It's not necessarily space food, but it is something that can make such a huge impact. Like I said, the research on this is just incredible. The next product that they have are shakes and bars. And I love these because they're a clean source of protein, and they are a complete protein. A lot of people worry when they have a plant-based protein that they're not going to get your full panel of amino acids. But if you combine different plant proteins, you get your full profile that you need. And so you don't need to rely on a whey protein that causes inflammation. You can have this clean plant fuel that's not only going to give you your protein, but it's going to work as an anti-inflammatory in your body, which is so important, especially people that use these shakes as something for a post-workout. It's great to have. They're also dairy and gluten-free, and they're non-GMO. So it's just an extra 15 plants you can add to your diet every single day. And what I absolutely love about them is the fiber. A lot of people, when they go vegetarian or vegan, people are concerned about their protein levels. But what people fail to realize is that most people are never protein deficient, but more commonly, people are fiber deficient. And so if you increase the amount of fiber in your diet, you can have miraculous changes in your health, and it's becoming more commonly known. So this is a great way to increase your fiber intake. The other cool thing is with that fiber intake, there's carbs in it, and people get kind of scared of carbs and sugar. But if you pair your carbs and sugar with fiber, you're going to have a nice level, slow absorption of the sugar in your body. So lots of times people use these shakes for an energy boost because it's not going to peak and crash like a normal carb would because you have fiber paired with it. It's going to be a sustained, clean energy, which is great. I know Sandy gives her little daughter one before she goes to school, and she notices the days that she doesn't because when our sugar crashes, we get a bit grumpy. So what I also love about these products is they're perfect for everyone. From little kids, breastfeeding moms, babies, to my grandpa who's had the most amazing results on these products. And then athletes and obviously yogis, which is why we're doing this call. But it's honestly a product you can share with everyone. And that's why the business is so great because it's unlimited. You can share with as many people as you want. And it's a product that's suitable for everybody. The other last product we have is a tower garden. Mine's kind of here. I don't know how messy my house is to share on this call. It's not growing any plants yet. So if you're interested in the tower garden, just ask somebody to show it to you. What it is it is a tower, obviously, that has a water basin in the bottom, and you can plant 20 to 26 plants all the way up, and then it circulates the mineral water through, and you have a growing garden in your home, your school, your yoga studio, your juicery. Any business that wants to eat more plants could have this garden growing in them. And the research on the garden is really cool. If you're into saving the earth through water, it uses 98% less water than a traditional garden. So if people grow traditional gardens, that is awesome. But I know that every summer we kind of go through periods of water shortages and droughts. This is an amazing way to have your garden and to reduce your water use. The other thing about it is that it was originally developed for space stations because astronauts needed higher quality fruits and vegetables while they're up there to combat the radiation. So it grows high quality plants in it, technically superfoods. And what happened was the creator, Tim Blank, told NASA, hey, this tower would be amazing for the general population. And NASA gave them the go-ahead to share it with people. And then the Juice Plus company got lucky enough to be the people that get to distribute them. So as a distributor, you have amazing opportunity to share capsules and chewables. And I didn't mention this, but the chewables are free for kids, which is the coolest thing. So we have all this big fancy research, but we also have this children's health study, which gives the chewables away to kids for free under an adult order, which is so cool. So you have that product, then you have shakes and bars. The bars are similar to the shakes. They're delicious and vegan. And then you have the tower garden. That's as simple as it gets, and that's all you need. And all you're doing is inspiring healthier living, getting more plants into people, and creating amazing results. And so for my own health journey, I didn't completely share my whole story, but as you can see, it's changed my life in a way that I'm really passionate about this, especially working as a nurse in the emergency room. There's no hiding that we're in the middle of a health crisis in our world. And if you don't work in the hospital, maybe you don't see as time goes on, the younger these diseases are hitting. But it's something that I'm really passionate about, is sharing this because the world really, truly needs it. So if you're on a heart-centered mission and you want to do something really good for the world, you have no idea the good you could do by sharing this opportunity with people and these products with people. It's just incredible. So I want to share Sandy with you. She is amazing. She's crossed my path through this company, and I'm so blessed. She lives in Camrose, Alberta, and she was a former owner of a yoga studio and a Yoga for Schools business. And she's going to share with you her journey from that to now and how this company has had an impact on her life.
Aw, thank you, Kim. I could just listen to you talk forever. So good. And I'm like sitting here smiling like a Cheshire cat because it's been on our hearts to do a call like this because this is like our hearts is the yoga community. And so I'm so grateful to be a part of this and to be able to share this because really I didn't see this coming a mile away. It kind of was out of left field, but it's really changed the trajectory of my whole life, and it's let me do more of my yoga work, really. And so this whole world started in the yoga room. So it's also fitting to be doing this call. And it was a student that had introduced the products to me, and at the time my daughter was battling with some skin issues, and I had tried all sorts of things to naturally manage it, and they weren't working. And so when I learned about Juice Plus and the Children's Health Study, I got myself and my daughter to start taking it, and we seen really great things, great benefits. My daughter's skin issues started to clear up, and we weren't having to dietarily manage it anymore. We reintroduced foods into her diet, and that was a big light bulb. Like, what is this stuff actually doing? And Kim mentioned that she had more energy. That was a big thing that I noticed too. And I also had small kids at the time, so that's also, it's worth its weight in gold when you get extra energy. It's not like you get any more hours in the day or any more sleep, but it was like the quality of sleep I was getting was improved. And, skin and hair, grows quicker, skin's clear. And I just felt more vibrant, like from the inside. That's the only way I could describe it. And so, I had this bounce in my step, and I'm a natural connector. I think oftentimes yogis are. You just can't even help if you know something that can help someone, you can't help but share it. It's almost like it goes flying out of your mouth before you can even stop it. And so I was going, I can't help but think I feel good because of this Juice Plus stuff, and unconsciously sharing it in that way because that's who I am. And I didn't have the business at all on my radar because, like I said, I owned the yoga studio, which when you're the owner of things, you're kind of like you write the checks and you might be the last one to take the check. And if anyone calls in sick, you're the one that's teaching classes. So I was teaching, oh my gosh, probably 6 classes a week at least there. Plus I had a small family. Plus at the time, my husband at the time had worked out of town, and then alongside of that, I was also doing a yoga for schools business. So I was going into the schools and teaching all the way from kindergarten up to grade 12, which was amazing. And that was, again, starting to be a sustaining thing as far as income goes. And I really didn't feel like I could add anything more onto the plate. But I did love the products. I don't know, they felt good, and I could see what it was doing for my daughter. Our immune systems were so much stronger. We weren't getting sick as often, and we were fighting it off with taking extra Juice Plus, which I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't have to take Daphne into the doctors or take antibiotics. So all these things were starting to happen, and I felt good about it. And when I was invited to come learn about the business, it was kind of like, yeah, but I'm like, to be honest, to being totally vulnerable here, I think I was like, but I'm too cool. Like, I'm already doing my yoga thing and I'm changing the world this way. Thank you. I never would have said that, but I think that's what it was in the background. And I never had this awareness of what these kind of businesses could do. I didn't, I thought home-based things were kind of like hobby things. I never seen anyone make real substantial income off them. And I just didn't have an awareness, really, is what it was. But I got invited away to come learn about the business. And I went because I was, going to have some wine. And also they had said that I would be doing yoga there. They would someone was going to be teaching some yoga. And then thought I would learn about the business and apply it to all the other businesses that I was running, because those, you kind of start by accident. The yoga studio, I started by accident without a plan and just kind of like a hope and a prayer and a sign. And then the Yoga for Schools business was, something dreamed up over a glass of wine with a good friend. And so it really was, I was learning as I was doing it. So this opportunity to go to this business was kind of like, okay, I'm going to go to this business and then apply it to all the other things I was doing. As far as business goes, I was like going to be the business ninja. And so I decided to go to this business training, and I got there and really I could feel the heart of the community, like we have something so special in the yoga community. I just finished another training, and it really is something special. You kind of just love your brothers and sisters in that community, and everyone, you speak this common language and you get each other at the heart level. And I'd never found it anywhere else. But when I walked into this room, it was kind of like, wow, this feels really good. And I learned about the products, from doctors, and that was making me even more excited about it, and kind of going like, wow, the world needs this. Like, so many people need this. This really is a legit thing, and it's helping so many people. And the company that it was aligned with really, really did have a heart. And I thought that was so cheesy driving up being told that, but then I could feel it, and I could feel myself getting emotional, it was kind of one of those things where I was like, wow, am I supposed to be doing something with this? Like, I'm here for a reason. Obviously, there were lots of obstacles in my path to make it so I wouldn't be in that room, but I was in that room. And I just kind of started to pay attention a little bit more once I started, leaning into the feelings I was having and my intuitive hunches. And so I sat up a little taller, and I listened to what they were having to say about the business. And of course, it was a couple that was traveling the world. And for me, I just like Kim, I was a big traveler as well. I did the, 30 under 30, lived for 7 years overseas. And so travel is in my DNA. And that's going to be a whole other Zoom, because that is a whole other group of people that need to know about this opportunity. So this couple was talking about the traveling the world because of their business, and I kind of like started to connect the dots, like, wow, that's amazing to do that with their kids. It was a dream of mine to be able to travel the world with them, and be able to afford that because that's expensive. And then the other piece of my puzzle was in the background. I was, in a marriage that was near ending, and we were on the doorstep of bankruptcy, and starting businesses and doing that, it's not cheap. It came at a price, and I wasn't getting back what I was putting into it. And so on the outside it seemed like everything was all good, but in the background it really wasn't. And I had been praying for a solution. I had been I'm a hard worker, and I just want to love on people. Like, my purpose in life is to spread love and light. How can I do that? Especially when we were in such a turmoil financially, and I was waiting for the lottery. I never bought a ticket, but I was already thinking what I was going to do when I won the lottery. And then in that moment, I just kind of realized that I think that I'm supposed to do something with this Juice Plus stuff. I think that's why I'm learning about it. It's kind of like an answer to the prayers I was offering up. And so I had that God moment where I just, the music orchestra played, and I was like, okay, I need a sign. Baba, give me a sign if I'm supposed to do something with this Juice Plus business. And I got it right away. That's a second later. And I just kind of, recognize that my path was shifting. I didn't have, tunnel vision for what I was going to do. I literally only knew that my purpose was to serve love and light. And maybe some of you listening to this can relate. Like, you're just supposed to help people. And I wasn't in this rigid viewpoint of how that was going to come to pass. Otherwise, I could have let this pass me by. But I was open to the signs, and I really leaned into it, and it really has shifted my whole world. So in the journey, I've become an independent mom, and because I had this, it kind of held me and supported me through a really tumultuous time in my life. And the Juice Plus community is very similar to the yoga community. I always pinch myself how lucky I am to be a part of such loving communities on both sides. So I'm, locking elbows with people on this mission to help help others and both arenas. And so the values align perfectly, and it's all this mission of health and happiness. And so I really haven't ever looked back. The other cool thing with the business, at the top level, you get a full medical benefits package without being an employee. And so again, being self-employed, that was, I had never had benefits. I think the first time I used them, I got to the top level in about a year and a half, being a hot mess, having small children, having all these businesses and everything. I was able to make it there. And the first time I went to use my benefits, it was like magic. I could just go get my massage, and then magically the bill disappeared. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. And so in that journey, it really has taken me from, being on the doorstep to bankruptcy to being in a real place of abundance where I am, on the doorstep of being debt free. And that was so far away from me. And I never realized that could be what it was. And so in the end, I sold my yoga studio and the Yoga for Schools business. And Juice Plus is the thing that I primarily do, but I get to do my yoga in such a profound way. I get to pick and choose when I teach my classes. And it's really helped me do more with it, actually, because again, on my journey, so I had started at Yashodhara Ashram a decade ago and fell in love with it. And then life happened, and I took some extra, other trainings, children training, prenatal training. And I just I realized I love taking teacher trainings. Like, I love that. It's like my play. But they're expensive. And so, rewind back when I'm in this struggle of debt and having this, just money being a struggle, those were so far away. I wasn't able to take any trainings and do all the things that I wanted to do in life. And so I really was playing at a smaller level. And so now, after being on this path for the last 5 years, and now I really do have created a life of abundance with an ample time and a lot of freedom. And I don't have to blink if something comes my way and it's a, training I really want to do, whether I can afford it or not, or whether I have the time off, or whether I can manage it. It's just like, it comes through my path. I know I'm meant to do it, and I do it. And that it just wasn't the case. And so I get to do, this has become a bigger platform to do my soul work, to do my yoga work. And I'm just, I never seen that coming. I never connected the dots. And so again, if you're sitting here and you've been kind of like praying for that perfect, thing out there, just lean into the possibility that this could be it. Recently, I just, like Kim said, finished my Kundalini yoga teacher training. It's another, I love it. And yin training, there's more coming up. And I just love that now I get to play at a bigger level in the yoga arena as well, because I don't have to stress about this, a job that I hate, or doing things I don't like to do to make ends meet. And also hustling so much is in terms of teaching yoga and that kind of thing, so that I don't love it as much as I do. I really get to keep the love and passion I have for it, because, my finances and that kind of thing is taken care of. And it also feeds the need to help people. I think you would agree that the best part about teaching yoga is, waking people up to how amazing they are. I think so many people don't even realize how amazing they are. And I love that we get to light that candle for them in a yoga class. And maybe it's the first time they thought about things in the way that you get to share it with them. And with this business, I mean, it's the same opportunity. We get to, light the candle for people realizing that they don't have to struggle in life, that, abundance is there. It's just, the universe is there just waiting to serve them. And here we have, not only do we just wake them up to that, we also have a tool to give them that here's this business that you can do alongside all that you're already doing. And it's a safe community and platform to be more of who you are. And I think that's such a magical thing. And so when I think of, some of my yogi friends and I just always, sometimes I hear the need or I hear the struggle, and I just know that this can be the answer. It can be the solution. And so, again, we could go on and on, but it really is, it really is something, if you're sitting here kind of going, ding, ding, some things are dinging. Honestly, talk to the person that invited you, because they had to push out of their comfort zone to get you on this. And I mean, Kim and I are always here if ever you wanted to ask us some questions around it. But really, this is, this business is like it's like its own ashram. It's like another place to do your yoga. If you want growth, come and do this kind of business. It kind of shines your light on all your samskaras and everything that, it just puts like lights the torch on it, actually accelerates it. And it really just marries with the yogic lifestyle in such a beautiful way. And it's so very Aquarian. I know that if you're listening, you might know that we're in this Aquarian age. And I had the beautiful opportunity to learn from a teacher, and she had said that this kind of industry is very Aquarian. And I thought, oh, wow, that's so beautiful. It's such another way to look at it, because, there's so much freedom in it. You get to determine who you work with. You get to determine when you want to work, where you want to work. It's worldwide. So there's no borders. I get to, the kids and I get to dream about, let's go to, we're going to go stay with some friends in Australia and build our business in Australia because we can. And so I've given them this big permission slip to be more in life and not necessarily play small. So if you felt that nudge that, you're meant to be playing bigger in life, and then this has come your way, don't let it pass you by. That's my story. Again, I could go on and on, but I'll leave it there for now.
Thank you so much for sharing. That's something that we forget about, is how much personal growth we get to experience. And people don't realize that we have this community, and I've never felt so supported in any other job per se than I do whenever I travel. I lean into this community. In every province I've lived in or stayed in, they've just swept me up. And just having you in my life and building me into the person that I am, that's able to speak on this call, it's just, you've helped me become more of who I am and be able to share more of that with the world. And I'm so grateful to have you as a leader and as a friend. I just feel so blessed to have you in my life. So thank you for sharing on this call. It means a lot to me.
Oh, me too. Love you, Kim.
Yeah. So we do want to also just say, whoever invited you to this call, please get back to them. They really care about you and just couldn't help but bring this opportunity your way in case something interested you. So thank you so much for coming on this call. I'm going to end it with the light in me honors and respects the light in you. Namaste.
Namaste.
I'm going to, instead of stopping recording, I hit end meeting, but thank you so much.